Hello and welcome to Account of Stewardship. This is the program where we get to hold our leaders accountable, past, present, and future leaders. Today, however, our focus is on Senator Wadada, a man who has been in the House of Reps twice and currently in the Senate and serving as a chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. In due course, you get to know a lot about him. My name is Mayowa Uluabi. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Distinguished Senator Ahmed Aliyu Wadada represents Nasarawa West Senatorial District in the Nigerian Senate. He was elected into the Senate in 2023 on the platform of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, replacing former governor of Nasarawa State and former national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, Abdullahi Adamu. He hails from Kefi in Kefi local government area of Nasarawa State, where he was born on October 15, 1964, to the family of Alhaji Danyaya Aliyu. He attended the government secondary school Miango Jos between 1978 and 1983, before proceeding to the School of Preliminary Studies, Kefi, in 1984. Between 1985 and 1987, he attended the Federal Polytechnic, Nasarawa, where he obtained a national diploma in business administration. In 1993, he bagged a higher national diploma in business administration from the same institution before proceeding to the mandatory National Youth Service Corps scheme. During this period, Senator Ahmed Aliyu Wadada worked as a procurement officer at the Benue Cement Company, Boko, Benue State, until 1994. Senator Wadada worked in several other organizations before he was elected into the House of Representatives in 2003 as the member representing the Kefi Karu Kokona Federal Constituency under the banner of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. He won a second term in the House of Representatives in 2007. Senator Wadada sponsored several bills during his 8-year sojourn in the House. Senator Ahmed Wadada is a people's man who has touched the lives of thousands of his constituents in more ways than one, especially through his contributions to their socio-economic well-being. For instance, he has spent millions of naira on provision of potable water in the following communities: Dutse, Kefi, Angwankaura, Tudunwada, Kofar Kokona, and Kofar Mada, among others. Senator Wadada consistently pushed for economic empowerment for the youth of his constituency, and he put his money where his mouth is through his contribution to their economic and business activities. Ahmed Wadada is serving his first term in the Senate, and there is no doubt that he is ready to do even more for the people of his senatorial district.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still Account of Stewardship, and on the spotlight is a senator representing Nasarawa West, Senator Wadada.
Thank you very much.
So tell us about your constituency.
My constituency is a very historic and cosmopolitan constituency. Historic because my senatorial district headquarters is Kefi. And again, the federal constituency headquarters is equally Kefi. The history of Nigeria cannot be written without the mention of Kefi. Kefi, you cannot wish away Kefi as far as old and present Nigeria is concerned. First and foremost, because of our inclination to independence, autonomy, Kefi resisted colonialism to the extent of killing a colonial master.
Wow.
Just to safeguard and protect the honor, integrity, and our culture. This was in 1902 by Magaji Danya Musa, the great-grandfather of our present emir. Kefi hosts the second secondary school in northern Nigeria. The famous government college, Kefi, was next or second to the famous Barewa College in Zaria. In fact, the history of Great Britain cannot be complete without the mention of Kefi. If you have to take it from, Kefi is there in the historical library of the Great Britain. Kefi has a street in, the colonial masters had to give Kefi a name, a street name in Ikoyi, Lagos, and there I was born, and today I am the Sarkinyak in Kefi, representing Nasarawa West Senatorial District, having represented the federal constituency from 2003 to 11. That's my constituency. We are traditional, we are contemporary, we are cosmopolitan, we are cultural, we are all inclusive.
I can see that. So coming from an enlightened electorate, how were you able to swing a two-term as House of Reps member and now as a senator?
First and foremost, as a believer, that's what destiny has for me, or had for me at that time. And then humanly, I've been with my people. I grew up with my people. I have, from my growing up days, I had always associated, related, and shown concern for the growth and development of my people. I had an association called ABK, Association for Better Kefi, which was initiated and founded by me, my humble self, just out of concern for my people. I was a prefect in my primary school. I was director of socials, Kefi Students' Union, when Students' Unionism was Students' Unionism. I was a social prefect in my secondary school. So I have always been, with due respect, I bless and appreciate God for that. I've always been a rallying point. And so having got into the House of Representatives in 2003 and had the privilege of pioneering, I was the pioneer chairman of the National Assembly Committee on Capital Market and Institutions. And I had run that committee for 2.5 years before the Senate at that time created one. And my footprints, my marks, my achievements, as far as most of the transformations that are happening today in the Nigerian capital market, we initiated them during my days. The first thing I did, as chairman, the betterment of every endeavor is determined by the body rule of that endeavor. So I first of all brought all stakeholders together to discuss, review, and amend the ISA, Investment and Securities Act, to make it up to date. And that made the turning point in the Nigerian capital market. And I did not, as far as my legislative responsibilities were concerned at the time, I propagated the Nigerian capital market, marketed the Nigerian capital market within the shores of Nigeria and outside the shores. We took the Nigerian capital market on roadshow to New York, to Europe, to Asia, everywhere. I was in India, I was in China, I was in Hong Kong, I was in London, New York, Canada, everywhere, all propagating the Nigerian capital market. It got so much that my other name within the chambers of the House of Representatives was Mr. Capital Market. And, that stood me out. One of the greatest achievements I had during my stewardship as the chairman, House Committee on Capital Market and Institutions, and of course the system is so quiet about. Nobody seems to even celebrate me about it. The APCR manipulation allegation against Aliko Dangote by Femi Otedola. Everybody knew how tense the Nigerian capital market was. For over 2 months, the market was just in crisis. The apex regulatory body couldn't do anything. The primary regulator, of course, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, under the stewardship of Dr. Indi Okereke Moyoke, couldn't do anything. The House Committee on Capital Market summoned everybody. And there I was. And there I said, I reminded each and every stakeholder, all captains of industry, the entire corporate Nigeria was there. I reminded them that they are all, or they were all at that time before a constituted authority. And there is today only one chairman, and that is Honorable Ahmed Wadada Aliyu. And I asked if Chief Femi Otedola was in attendance, was present. He said yes. I said, approach the chair. He approached. I asked if Alhaji Aliko Dangote was present. He said yes. He answered. I said, approach the chair. They came, stood in my front. I said, embrace yourselves, if not for the sake of your friendship, for the sake of Nigeria, the country that made the two of you. When of course, Alhaji Aliko was a bit reluctant because of, obvious reasons before that day. But eventually, they extended pleasantry, and I said, hug yourselves. They did. Dr. Indi Okereke screamed, Wadada, you are great. This is what we've been trying to achieve. In 3 months, we couldn't. God made me do it. And I jokingly, anytime I see the two of them get together, smiling, celebrating, I said, I reconcile the two of you, and there's still nothing for Wadada. We laugh over it because they are all my brothers. So, I mean, that's because that kept the market, put the market back. The tensions and the apprehensions and whatever in the hearts and minds of stakeholders, that was when the present governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, gave me the name Chartered Politician. But despite my commitment to the aspect of my legislative responsibilities, I never forgot my people.
My name is Yahaya Shukran Khalid. Okay. I am come here to collect my gifts that Senator Aliyu Wadada gave us, and I'm very happy to collect the gifts. May Allah bless him.
I came up with an education foundation which is still in existence, sponsoring children of less privileged background to get educated. I had influenced the number of constituency projects, and also funded quite a number of projects from my own pocket. From my own pocket, in the sense that, nowhere in the world, and this I find very imperative to always say, that no legislator anywhere in the world is giving money directly to execute projects. You can only influence. But if money has to come from you, then it is coming. If money will have to be involved, then it is money coming from you.
I think some of us lack words to qualify the happenings of today. We are principals of schools, and the parents have found it very difficult to register their children. And with this kind of gesture, which our senator, the distinguished senator of our Nasarawa West Senatorial District, Senator Ahmed Wadada, did to the parents as well as the students, the principals were so overwhelmed and happy.
And we bless God for that, because we have quite a number of graduates that today had benefited from the foundation. And I was able to attract to gain, employment for quite, I cannot say quite a number. In fact, it was within that period that I was able to get a constituent of mine to be the company secretary and legal advisor of Transcorp, International Corporation of Nigeria. And they are all over the place today. As far as constituency projects are concerned, they are clearly there. They are still there. Some that I sponsored, I had graded, upgraded, and rehabilitated roads from my pocket, built classroom blocks.
But you have your constituency funds.
Yeah, well, I'm not taking to you. I had at the constituency projects, yes, some boreholes were sunk, roads. The road network in Kefi, more than half of it was attracted under the then MDGs by me. Electrification projects in every aspect of life, and because the theme of my political activities is electorate enlightenment, I moved and I was able to get a radio license, frequency modulation license, and I established put in place radio station in Kefi and named it Maloney FM. So when I established the radio station to educate and enlighten my people, I decided to name it Maloney. From time to time, that station takes time to give the history of Kefi. And this issue of Maloney, permit me to say that it is one of the issues I intend to leverage on my representation today in the Senate to seek for reparation for Kefi. Because it is the responsibility of every leader to protect his people. Magaji Musa was of the belief and conviction that Maloney was in Kefi to bastardize the honor, integrity, and the respect of his people. He resisted it to the extent of killing him. As a result of killing Maloney, Kefi was administratively imprisoned for 50 years. And that denied Kefi the opportunity for so many infrastructure at that time that were meant to be for Kefi were taken to Jos. So today, the Zulus killed colonial masters in South Africa. They sought reparation, and it was taken care of. I am going to seek reparation for Kefi from the Great Britain.
So what about your list? What bills did you pass while you were in the House of Rep?
Oh, so many. I sponsored the FCT Satellite Town Development Commission. The bill was conceptualized to create a common coffer for the contiguous states to the FCT to contribute from source 5% of their annual allocations from federation account, so that, and then federal government and FCT will as well be contributing. That common coffer was meant to serve to be utilized in taking care of the socio-economic problems of the contiguous state. Like Mararaba in Nasarawa state is virtually not too far from being a slum. And it is all as a result of the influence and influx of our proximity to the FCT. Suleja is suffering the same thing. The Abaji here in the first settlement or community of Kogi State is facing the same thing. But unfortunately, I am back to the legislature, and we will continue to pursue that. There must be an agency that is established, the order will be established to cater for these excesses, the overburden of the influence of FCT on neighboring states. Okay.
We'll go on a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back if you're just joining us. This is Account of Stewardship, and the spotlight is on Senator Wadada and what has been doing for the people of Nasarawa West. Now that you're in the Senate, what should we expect? You're chairman of the Committee on Public Accounts. And right now, there's a deficit of trust between the masses, the governed, and the government. How do you bridge that gap?
It is easy to bridge. First and foremost, where I'm coming from, as far as what I said earlier is concerned, the theme of my political activities, electorate enlightenment. I always call on, given the opportunity, call on my colleagues to give much more time in educating and enlightening our electorate. The better educated and enlightened they are, the better they appreciate us. And whatever we do, they will know. If it is from you directly, they will know. If it is from government, they will know. So if that if that gap is bridged, for an average electorate to be up to date, it will create the needed, and required value. And in doing that, let me take you back. When I was given the chairmanship of House Committee on Capital Market and Institutions, so I went on a constituency visit to tell my constituents what had happened to me as far as appointment was concerned. And one of my electorates said, "We've been told that you are the chairman of market. So please, when it comes to distributing or allocating shops in Gariki and Wuse market, don't forget us." You understand? So I laughed and I said, "Mama, that is not what it means. The capital market is not about allocation of stores." And what, that gave me the leverage or the opportunity to educate them. And from that day, they got to know what the capital market meant. And the system must create some credit scheme. How do you imagine a civil servant that takes home 110,000, for instance, in a month? It is within that 110,000 that he pays his children's school fees. It is within that 110,000 that he provides health services or whatever when needed for members of his family. It is within that he provides transportation for himself. No form of credit at all scheme, like for mortgage and what have you, vehicle credit scheme, mortgage. If all those are made available, of course, corruption will be less attractive. So we are doing that. And for the MDs, ministries, departments, and agencies, we tell them every day, Wadada's perception and understanding of public accounts is not a vehicle to withhold anybody. It is not a vehicle to bring down anybody.
Let me ask you, in the next 4 years, as a senator representing your constituency, what should the people of Nasarawa West expect?
The people of Nasarawa West, they know Wadada, they know where I'm coming from, they know my antecedents, so they know what they're expecting. I've been able to open up my local community to the rest of the world, leveraging Polo. This Sunday, my emirs from Gombe, from Qatar, from every part of Nigeria were in Kefi. The SGF was there, Deputy Senate President was there, members of the National Assembly, senators, captains of industries, we're all in Kefi. And
thank you very much for your time, distinguished senator.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to say the little I have said.
It's a wrap on account of stewardship today, and our guest has been Senator Wadada of Nasarawa West. My name is Bayowa Oluwabi. Till I bring you another interesting personality and leader to give an account of his stewardship like we have done today. Thank you for watching. Keep keeping our leaders accountable.